Hey, this is Chris Brogan from chrisbrogan.com with a quick video book review. This book is one that I read not too far after How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. I'm on a bit of a kick on books about money because it's interesting to see how different people talk about making it and what you can learn from them. This book is called The Millionaire Maker, and it's by Laurel Langemeier. God, I hope I said your name right, Laurel. It's a really, really interesting book. I have to admit that I was a little bit taken by the title. I was saying, ugh, Millionaire Maker. It's one of these get-rich-quick kind of books. And I've got to tell you, it read amazingly useful. It's a really good book. It's talking about a sort of a system that she uses. She calls it the wealth cycle. And there's 12 building blocks. And when I saw this page, I was kind of like, oh, this is tricky. 12 things. How am I going to remember all this? But she walks you through multiple experiences throughout the book. The entire book has ideas on how to manage it. It has every single one of these 12 covered, but then it walks its way through how you use the various pieces of the system a little bit at a time to understand it. And it talks through gap analysis. It talks about, understanding where you are with your finances and all that. And it's the kind of book you have to read more than once. You can't just read it, put it away, and then suddenly think you're going to make wealth. But when I look at this book, when I read through it, it really helps. My friend Katie had sent me an email. We were talking about escape velocity, and I wanted to get back to her and say, this might be a book. This is the book, Katie. Pick up The Millionaire Maker, and I think it'll be helpful to the thing you and I were talking about. The answer to some of the questions of, how do you figure it out, there's a lot of it in here. There's a lot in here about sort of which steps to take first, and it's really, in Laurel's point of view, sequencing which steps when is where everyone goes wrong, and that's the part that I felt was the most actionable in this book. This is perhaps the best book I've read so far on the actual how part of figuring out your finances and getting it fixed. Now, if you're in a huge, deep hole, you might have to go into Dave Ramsey territory, the total money makeover guy, the get out of debt sort of stuff. But she covers it a bit in here as well. I think that this book has sort of a blend of people who are struggling but still kind of above water, up to people who have, some money and they're trying to figure out what to do next. There's a lot of other books I'd recommend if you're like way in the hole. But this one's really good. The Millionaire Maker, Laurel Langemeier, definitely worth checking out. I'm Chris Brogan from chrisbrogan.com.